Hi everybody and welcome to Math with Megan. Today we're going to be learning about writing numbers in expanded form. In the Ontario Mathematics curriculum, this is a skill that starts being taught in grade 1 for numbers up to and including 50 and gradually building up to grade 7 for numbers up to 1 billion and needing to write it in terms of powers of 10. For Ontario teacher candidates, this is also a skill that might be required on part 1 of the Math Proficiency Test. And prerequisite skills needed for writing numbers in expanded form include knowledge of addition and place values. So let's get started. All right, so for our first example, we have the number 358. At the moment, this is what we call standard form for writing a number. And when we look at this is where the place value knowledge comes in. We see that 8 is in the ones place, 5 is in the tens place, and 3 is in the 100s place. And so what we can do is we can write this with addition, adding the different place values with knowledge of the digits in each of the place values. So what that would look like is it would be 300 plus 50 plus 8. So 3 being in the 100s place means that this says 300. 5 being in the tens place means that's a value of 50, and 8 in the ones place means a value of 8. And this would be now what we call expanded form for grades 3 to 5 level, because we are dealing with a triple digit number. And at this point, we aren't expressing it in powers of 10. However, as a requirement for the grade 7 mathematics curriculum, we need to express the answer in powers of 10. So let's do that and take it a step further. So looking at the 300, the 50, and the 8, we can use this as multiplication of 10 to represent each of these. And that would look like 3 times 100 plus 5 times 10 plus 8 times 1. So 300 becomes 3 times 100. So essentially what we're doing here is we're taking the digit and multiplying it by its place value. As we see here, 3 100s, 3 times 100. And we continue this for our 5 times 10 and our 8 times 1. However, this is not currently in powers of 10 as required by the grade 7 expectations. So now what we need to do is take our 100, our 10, and our 1 and express these in terms of powers of 10. So we know that 100 is 10 times 10. Okay, and we can express that using exponents as 10 squared, or 10 to the power of 2. And we can show then that our next step, which is our final answer, is 3 times 10 squared, where we replace the 100 with 10 squared, plus 5 times 10, because 10 expressed in powers of 10 is just 10 or 10 to the 1, but you are not required to write an exponent of 1 because it's the same thing. And then plus 8 times 1, because anything times 1 is just itself, and you can't, there's no need to express that as exponent with a base of 10. And so now what we've done here is successfully written 358 in expanded form in an answer for the grade 7 level curriculum expectations. All right, so pretty good first example. Let's give another one a go. Okay, so now in this example, it's pretty similar to the last one, but now we have a 0 here. So we have 308. Okay, so again, looking at our place values, we have 8 in the ones, 0 in the tens, and 3 in the 100s column. All right, so we're going to do the same thing where now we write this as addition by the place value. So this gives us 300 plus, well, we can just write a 0 there because it's 0 in the 10 spot, plus 8. However, if you have an understanding of addition, adding 0 doesn't change the value and doesn't actually add anything. So it's just making more work for us to write it. So we actually don't have to write that 0 as a placeholder. We can just do 300 plus 8 because we only have values in the 100s place and the ones place. All right, so we can just ignore the tens place because there's nothing there. All right, and so now again, this is a grade 3 to 5 level answer of expanded form. So let's take it a step further and show how we would write it for a grade 7 level All right. So again, we're going to look at multiplying it in terms of the place value. So that would then be 3 times 100. Again, 3 in the 100s place is 3 times 100, which is equivalent to 300. And then taking that 8, which was in the ones place, 8 in the ones place, 8 times 1. Okay, and then again, with grade 7, writing it in terms of powers of 10, so using exponents with a base of 10. 100 we can represent as 10 squared, and 1 can just stay represented as 1. So as our final answer for grade 7 level, we would have 3 times 10 squared plus 8 times 1. All right, pretty good so far, right? Hopefully you guys are still on the right track and I'm making sense. So let's give another final answer a go where we now take it and expand on what we've done so far. So example 3 here, we're looking at a bit bigger of a number, but it's okay because we can take what we just learned in the last 2 examples and apply it to this one. So going through and identifying what we have in our place values, we have 7 in the ones, a 1 in the tens, 3 in the 100s place value, 8 in the 1000s, and 5 in the 10,000s. All right. So again, what we're going to do as our first step, which would be a grade 3 to 5 level answer, would be now to write it with addition as the place values. So looking at this, 5 in the 10,000s gives us 50,000. 8 in the 1000s would mean it's 8,000. 3 in the 100s has a value of 300. 1 in the tens has a value of 10, and 7 in the ones place value has a value of 7. Okay, so not too bad, right? So let's give this answer and take it to the next level. So now we want to write our answer with the multiplication by the place value, and that would look like this. So again, for this step, another way of thinking of it is just taking the digit and multiplying it by the place value. So 5 is in the 10,000s place value, so we do 5 times 10,000. 8 is in the 1000s place value, so it's 8 times 1000. 3 in the 100s place value, 3 times 100. 1 in the tens place value is 1 times 10. And 7 in the ones place value is 7 times 1. But again, as before, like I said, for the grade 7 level answer, you need to use exponents or powers of 10. Okay, so a trick for this, which you will see in just a sec, is our answer would look like this once we do it. Okay, so 10,000 can be expressed as 10 to the 4 because it is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is equal to 10,000. But if you actually look here, the exponent 4, how many zeros do we have in 10,000? 1, 2, 3, 4. So a trick is just to remember is do your base 10 and then write the exponent as however many zeros exist in the number. And we see that again here for 8 times 1,000, we do 8 times 10 to the 3. Well, 1,000 has 3 zeros. So that works that this exponent here is 3. And 10 to the 3 is just 10 times 10 times 10. And then we continue this for 3 times 100, 3 times 10 squared. 1 times 10 is just 1 times 10, and 7 times 1 is just 7 times 1. All right, so that's all for today, everybody. I hope that helped expand your mathematical knowledge, and I'll see you next time. If you have any questions or any ideas for future videos, please comment below, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, math is cool, so stay in school.